I would never have considered myself a Christian, but I definitely felt like I grew up in a church home. And I remember searching for significance and searching for just love through other people. And I ended up finding it in a lot of the wrong places. They were something that I was looking for and I wasn't finding. And throughout my high school career, I basically went from one bad relationship to the next bad relationship. And I began to just not care. I would do stuff that was obviously wasn't part of what I was taught in life, and I honestly didn't even think about God. It wasn't even really a thought. The more I felt insignificant, the deeper and deeper I dug myself into holes. And so I let people use me, and I never was able to say no to people, which got me into a lot of trouble. And I went on just a whirlwind of binges of eating disorders, with drugs, with alcohol, with guys, with anything that I just didn't care. I didn't care about my body. I didn't care about the people around me. I just felt really alone, and I didn't think that what I was going to do was even important to other people. So I just kind of went on with my life. I remember meeting a guy, and his mom I knew she was a Christian, and I knew that she really cared about me. Her name was Sheriff Thomas, and it was probably one of the first times that I really felt like somebody cared about me, even though they knew what I was into. I was suicidal, that I wanted to end my life because I felt like it was going to go nowhere. I knew I had really messed up, and I remember her asking me if I wanted to go to this retreat, and it was called a chrysalis retreat. I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't necessarily not believe in God, but I honestly thought that Christians led a really, really boring and too straightforward of a life. She kind of steered it away from the fact that it was going to be a God weekend, but more of a, you know what, this might be good for you because since you're kind of suicidal, I think you have no place else to go. And so I remember saying no at first, but after a while I was just like, you know what, heck with it. Well, when I walked into the Chrysalis event, I just remember looking at these people, and they just seemed like such goody two-shoes. That was kind of my term with the whole thing. They seemed just so perfect, I guess, and I didn't. And I never felt like if I wasn't perfect, I would never fit in. And that whole day, I just would kind of scowl at them. But throughout the day, I just wondered what it was they were actually so happy about. And at night, we had that cross ceremony, and they gave us this red piece of paper, and they had us write down things that we should probably give up. But I thought it was so juvenile that it was not really significant. I didn't understand how a piece of paper and writing something down on it could actually to mean anything. And they gave us this awkward looking nail, and I remember grabbing this big old hammer and nailing it once, and I remember nailing it twice, and the third time my whole world became light, and I didn't understand what I was doing. I didn't understand what was going on, but I remember my life changed at that very moment. Like as soon as I got home from that event, it was just like I entered into a whole new world. And I wasn't perfect when I walked out of there. I was, you know, I still had my flaws, I still had my really bad habits, but over time, it was almost like God took those habits and broke them down one at a time in my life. A lot of people think where you become a Christian and you have to all of a sudden be a different person, which you are, but it was really cool how God was like, all right, I'll let you start loving me, and I'll start breaking down the stuff that I want to break down in you. And it was nothing like I'd ever thought a Christian life could be. How he got my attention, it was a little red piece of paper, a nail, and a hammer, is basically how he got me. And that blows my mind how he can use the simplest things in the world and got my attention by those three simple things.